Hello again, friends, and welcome to another segment here on Doc G's Wine and Spirits Review. I don't know, there's a scary person sitting at the other end of this table. I'm not really sure what's going on. I guess she doesn't have anything to say, so maybe we will entice her with some fine bubbly. As you all know, one of my favorite sounds in the world, even on Halloween, is the sound just like that. So before we get started with our feature, maybe the witch would like...
Witches before phantoms.
Oh geez, she does talk. So, as they usually say, trick or treat and welcome to our segment. So, before we get into the spooky stuff, what we plan to do for you tonight is take a series of different candies that I'm sure you all have had, that you all like, and believe it or not, you can pair them with wine. So our first wine, we're going to go through all the wines that you see before you, and we're going to sample a little bit of candy with each one of them, and then we'll give you our reaction to see if we really do like them. What do you think?
I think there's nothing better than trick-or-treating adult style.
So let us begin. Our first feature tonight, and we did a little research to find these out because I really do not pair my wine with candy, but tonight will be an exception. So the first pairing is a candy that I really don't even like, but I want to see how it goes with...
Lots of people don't.
I think a lot of people don't like this. When you take surveys, the first candy they say to throw away is this candy corn. But according to the research that I found, this candy corn is supposed to be excellent with a sparkling Riesling. And we happen to have one here. It's available to you if you get the Gale and Glen Winery. It's a newly released sparkling Riesling done by the daughter at the winery. It's a fantastic drink. And we are now going to take a piece of candy corn. I'm only doing one. I do not like candy corn. I'm going to chew it up. That's not so bad, actually. I hate them when they're real hard. These are a little soft. And we'll see how they pair.
It takes away from the sweetness, that sickening sweetness of the candy corn. And to tell you the truth, the candy corn actually tastes good.
I'm going to actually break a rule. I'm going to have another candy corn. It's actually good.
With the wine.
With the Riesling.
With the sparkling.
They say you can also do Prosecco. Like Prosecco is another one of those wines that you can have Prosecco with just about anything. So cheers. I might not be throwing these candy corn away after all. So, and she knows I hate candy corn. But that went
we both do.
really well for the phantom here. So, with that, I'm going to take my last swallow. And I'm going to introduce our next pairing. I'm going to let you do that. Riesling and Starburst.
Yes, Starburst. Okay, we've got our little jar of Starburst here, and we've got a Riesling right in front of me. Ugh.
That's
okay.
a Finger Lakes Riesling.
This is from Ravines. It's a dry Riesling. It's in the Finger Lakes, which we go to a lot, and we certainly do like Ravines because they do some really, really good stuff. So we're supposed to take this Riesling and we're going to pair it with Starburst. And it doesn't matter really what flavor Starburst. I personally think the lemon might be very good with it. So now I have to unwrap it.
Another candy I'm not crazy about.
Yeah, that's something that we don't really...
I'm a chocolate
don't
freak.
do it right. But let's do a little Starburst.
But I have the Starburst first. Unfortunately, house sounds haunted tonight. Something's going on.
lemon.
It's wild to eat
With
these.
some dry Riesling. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I care for that together.
Well,
What do you think?
we had, well, truth in advertising, when we did our research, they said you really should go with a semi-dry, which has a little more sugar. So this pairing, I'll take that candy corn and the sparkling Riesling over this.
Although, you know what? Maybe the
wine's
sweeter
good.
one, the strawberry one, might be better with it.
Well, we're not going to find out because they're too hard to chew. So now it's my turn. Now, we're going to feature a wine that is a wine that is similar to Gewürztraminer called Traminet, which is grown a lot here in Pennsylvania. It's a cross between Gewürztraminer and another very obscure grape. We've had this bottle of Traminet for a while. The winery up near Allentown called Vinecrest, just above Kutztown, is one of the wineries locally that specializes in Traminet. It's also readily available in the Finger Lakes. So our pairing,
What do we pair this with?
well, the pairing, believe it or not, is with one of my actually favorite all-time candies. Goes with peppermint patties. And York peppermint patties are the only peppermint patty to eat. Now we're getting into the chocolate. So now I'm happy. So let's take a bite.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I love these.
Okay.
So let's see.
Got a little mint there.
That's actually a nice pairing. Surprisingly, the Traminet's got a very floral, rose-like quality, like the Gewürztraminer.
But do you want to know why? I always stay away from Traminet because I don't like that rose. You know, the bouquet of roses, and
Smells
then
like
you
rose
get that
petals.
floral finish to it, which I really don't care for. But
Wow.
this kind of masks it and tones it down and rounds it out, don't you think?
Absolutely. If you're feeling depressed, go
Well,
get yourself a bag of peppermint patties and a bottle of Traminet and have at it.
No, if you want to have fun, that's the way to liven up your Halloween party.
Well, I didn't mean to say if you were depressed, but you know, if you need to pick me up, this is a good one. I ate that whole thing. It's even melting on my finger. The Phantom is very happy.
So now, whenever Traminet is around, I have to make sure everybody has some York peppermint patties for me.
That was delicious.
That's surprisingly good. Yeah, that was really
That's
good.
tied with the sparkling Riesling. Trick or treat. Yum, yum. Let's get those dead soldiers out of the way. It's getting scary here. I don't know what's going on. I think the spirits want some wine. So, I guess it's now your turn to introduce us to something.
Okay, what do we have next here?
Next is our Sauterne.
Is our Sauterne, which this is available Chateau Bordenave.
Let me take over with the wine here. This should be. Come on, I'm done. At any rate, Sauterne is a dessert wine made from generally Semillon grapes and maybe a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc. It is meant to. It's a Bordeaux white dessert wine. There are bottles of a Sauterne called Chateau d'Yquem, which for a they can go to like $500 for a fifth. It is like liquid gold, and it is about a 14-15%. It approaches the alcohol volume of a port, but it is a fantastic white dessert wine that goes really well with like different kinds of dessert cheeses, different kinds of fruit desserts and liver pate. It's really got a
Well, now wait a minute. Desserts with liver pate?
no. It's a dessert style, but it has a very broad spectrum of things that it pairs with. So, believe it or not, the pairing here is.
Snickers.
We couldn't believe it when we did the research.
Snickers.
So we broke up a little Snickers bar. And we have, you don't drink much of this at one time, so you see here a little bit of the golden color of this.
And it comes in, you serve it in a little dessert glass. Because
You can drink it whatever you want. You can drink how much you want, but
don't listen to the phantom.
Now we're into the chocolate.
Now we've got chocolate and caramel and peanuts.
And this actually goes well with the creme brulee.
I thought of the
Oh, wow. This is making this candy much better than it really is.
Okay. That's not for me.
Oh, well, 1 for 2. I love it.
But, in all honesty, I'm not one for that wine to begin with. And I'm not a Snickers person, believe it or not. Everybody wants a Snickers. And there's nothing offensive about a Snickers. It's just not one of my favorites. That's all.
That Sauterne is really good. So, let's move on from that. It is now my turn to introduce our next feature.
Is that okay when you do like a vlog to turn around and tell everybody, I don't like that? Can you
Truth
do
in
that?
advertising.
Truth in advertising? Hey.
Truth in advertising. So, our
Okay.
next sipper is another more dessert style wine. And for those of you that have been following me religiously, last summer I did a spot on 4 or 5 different styles of sherry. And sherry emanates from Spain. And the style that we picked out, based on the research, is the sherry. This one here, which you can get here in PA, it is Don Nuno Oloroso sherry. It is from the Lusatal company. And this stuff keeps forever. And it is meant to be paired, in general, believe it or not, with chocolate and with other desserts. Walnut kind of dishes. It's a very pungent, raisiny on the nose, and the raisiny, we're going to see how that pairs.
Again, served like a dessert, right? Served like a dessert wine.
It's a versatile wine. You can have it with generally an after dinner kind of thing.
Listen, it's like nutty flavor.
That's very
nutty
accurate.
aroma.
Very accurate.
I want to
got
say
raisiny.
there is kind of some raisiny, but I kind of think I smell like almonds. And it's got a heavy mouthfeel. I will tell you that. Chocolate killing you, huh? Huh? Well, what are we going to pair this with, my phantom?
While you were over there babbling, I already explained that.
No, you didn't. You never said what.
Go back and replay the tape. This is like one of those moments where we
You said chocolate.
where we throw the red flag and do the instant replay. So I'll say it again. We're pairing this with Lusatal Oloroso. She's going to see this later. She's going to know she's wrong.
It's
The instant-
Oloroso, but what have you paired it with?
Coach Phantom wins the replay.
Okay, since he doesn't get it, it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Now we're talking candy, baby.
I think we did say that too.
So
The replay
Reese's
will prove
Peanut
that.
Butter Cup.
With this is a very good pairing.
Okay. It's the last time.
She's just getting too much alcohol. Nothing worse than a drunk witch. So, if you read that sign up there, what does it say?
It says,
I'm
a good witch until I run out of wine.
Yeah, well,
I will.
yeah, get ready. So anyway, that is I think it's our 4th pairing. We are now heading down into the
That's actually good with the peanut butter.
peanut butter is one of the actually quintessential pairings with Oloroso sherry. So we did really good here. And the guy that researched this had it easy.
So, maybe like, you know what? Make a dark chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting.
And that
And
Oloroso
then
sherry.
serve this as your dessert wine at a dinner party.
And I know some of you may have had sherry, and there are different blends of sherry, starting with Manzanilla. I don't want to get into too much of that. But this is a darker sherry, and it's sweeter. It has a little bit of sugar on it. And if you really want to get a good dessert sherry, you buy something called Pedro Jimenez. They call it X. It's made with the Pedro Jimenez grape. As they say in Spain, it's Pedro Jimenez. It is a wonderful dessert sherry. You can find it here. You can find it anywhere. Just look for Pedro Jimenez sherry. It's It's a fruit bomb, and it's very strong.
Remember that.
So,
Humanity.
we are now moving. Our candy dish is starting to empty. Oh, there's a leftover candy corn. I might have to come back to that.
I think we'll be coming back to that one.
So at any rate, we have 2 more pairings for you. Starting to really get warm in my Phantom outfit here. So we are now going to go to one of my favorite red grapes, and that is a Pinot Noir. The Pinot Noir that we are featuring today is one from one of the best Pinot Noir regions in the world. This is the Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. You can go get whatever Pinot Noir you want for the purposes of this pairing. Believe it or not,
Just a sidebar. We leave for the Willamette Valley next Tuesday. So we'll be back with some really great Pinot.
we'll be sending you pictures too from Oregon. So at any rate, the pairing for this one is one of the quintessential candies of all time, M&M's.
M&M's.
So we're gonna pop a couple M&M's and see if Pinot Noir.
I only eat green ones.
I'm colorblind. I don't care. So this is a really good Pinot too. Wow,
Oh, you know how
that actually works.
when you eat M&Ms, you get that real sweet coating before you really get the chocolate.
This actually works.
This, like, it, I don't want to say it eliminates the sweetness of the coating, but it tones it down and it amplifies the chocolate. It's wonderful. This is very nice.
It also, Pinot Noir is silky smooth anyway. With that milk coating that's in your mouth, even though you wouldn't associate milk with wine, but in that chocolate base, that is a phantom-worthy pairing.
But when he talks about that milk coating, he's talking about the body of the wine. You know how some wines, when you drink them, the feel in your mouth is like drinking a glass of water. And they vary all the way up to having a glass of milk. You know, that coat, or ice cream, the way it like coats your mouth.
Ice cream?
Well,
Unfortunately, no ice cream.
no ice cream. But as far as
We'll
like
do an ice cream and wine pairing.
the viscosity of the wine, like how thick it is.
Big
like,
words here.
I guess I didn't drink enough.
Well, we're going to fix that because we're on to our last pairing. So, we have now come to the final red wine pairing. And the wine that we're going to pair for our last pairing is Zinfandel. You've all heard of Zinfandel. I've done a couple spots on Zinfandel. It's a regular barbecue wine. It's one of the big and reddest, dark red, fruity wines of a single varietal that you can get. And I love it. The California Zinfandels are generally the best. Believe it or not, the great, not to get into great history again, comes from Europe and the old world, but it was brought here and made very, very prominent in California. So, the Zinfandel that we have is a Pedroncelli, and our pairing for the Zinfandel is a dark chocolate. So we're going to take our piece of our little
We're
stick of-
using Godiva. You can buy a packet of Godiva.
We just use this
that
for-
comes in these little silver
Any dark
bars.
chocolate.
You can use any dark chocolate, but we use Godiva simply because, well, to tell you the truth, Godiva chocolate is made like 3 miles away. I know they say they're Brussels chocolate, and they're made in Reading,
It's
Pennsylvania.
Exeter Township chocolate.
It's phenomenal. There's
So
nothing
here we
like Godiva chocolate. So we take a little square of Godiva and let
Oh my God.
it melt.
Wow. That just ramps up the fruitiness of the Zinfandel. That's like drinking a dark chocolate cherry.
But not as sweet as a chocolate covered cherry.
No, but the
Chocolate
same.
covered cherries to me are like
Yeah, but without minus the sweetness. Just picture that
too sweet.
that texture. Oh man.
As a matter of fact, this witch wants dark chocolate and Zinfandel. As far as I'm concerned, this was the best pairing. They're all good. Different tastes, different strokes for different witches. But, oh baby, this is mine.
Look out. The witch is back.
Excuse me?
And on that note, I'm going back to candy corn, guys. Say goodbye.
Well, that was the surprise of the evening, the candy corn. I will say that.
You want another
It
surprise?
was a great, you talking bubbly, baby? Okay. This was the surprise of the night, right? Don't you think?
I'm going.
Because
Hey, I'm reaching for 2 more candy corns, baby.
I love this.
You want some more candy corn?
I have one.
I
love the
double-
meme on Facebook that says how to eat candy corn. Buy the bag, open the bag, dump it in the garbage, and eat a Reese's peanut butter. You know? So, however, this is shockingly, eerily wonderful. Oh my God. I'm serving this.
That did not change my attitude whatsoever. It just got better.
Oops. My raven fell over. Poor baby.
On that note, I'd like to say, Happy Halloween.
And remember, if you are a person who doesn't like Halloween, then you need to trick or treat adult style, and your whole world will open up to some eerily wonderful tastes.
So until we meet again, may the Phantom of the Opera and the Wicked Witch of the West say Happy Halloween. Woo! I told you the place was haunted.
Oh my God!
We better go.
We better go.
See you next time.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Trick or treat.